Good evening. I'd like to call the Zoning Board of Appeals for Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019 to order. Will the city call the roll, please?
Ms. Defoe?
Here.
Ms. Selesny?
Here.
Mr. Wygum?
Here.
Mr. Rogers?
Here.
Madam Chairperson, you have a quorum to conduct business.
Thank you. Are there any communications?
Not at this time.
Okay, so let's move into the public hearing. If you haven't joined us before, the way that we conduct business is the city will call the case number. We'll read a short synopsis on the case. We ask the appellant to step to the microphone, state your name and address, and then also there's a sign-in sheet for you to sign in there as well. We ask you to give us a brief summary about what you're asking for and why. Then the city will read the findings of fact. We'll ask you to agree with those facts or add anything at that point if you'd like. We'll open it up to public comment, and then we'll turn it over to the board to make a decision. So will the city call the first case, please?
For ZBA case 1912, the appellant,
I could make out some of that, but I couldn't make out all of it, so.
No, that's okay. Just wait, let him read a synopsis first.
Pardon me?
Just let him read a synopsis first.
Oh, this is my son-in-law.
Okay.
Okay, so my name is,
He needs to start, hold on.
huh?
I have to read first real quick. Just give me 1 minute. So, for ZBA case 1912, the appellant, Alice Labus, is requesting the following waiver from the board: to erect a fence beyond the side of the house along a double frontage yard, 0 feet permitted, 26.3 feet proposed. The property is located on the south side of Constitution between Independence Drive and Winchester Street at 21205 Constitution, Sidwell parcel 2415, 326001, zoned R2, single-family residential. This appeal is to section 5.37, paragraph 1, article 4, or subsection 1, article 4, paragraph C1D, more commonly known as the zoning ordinance.
All right. Hi, good evening.
Hi.
If you could state your name and address for us.
Okay, my name is Alice Labus, and I live at 21205 Constitution, Southfield, Michigan, 48076.
Perfect. And can you explain to us what you're asking for and why?
Okay, I'm asking for a fence across the back of my house. There was one there at one time. It rotted, and my neighbor couldn't afford to take it down, and I had my other neighbor do it for her. Anyways, I have a new neighbor now who, she's just, the yard is a total mess. She put up some gazebo and another thing, and the wind blew them down twice. She took about a year to pick up the first ones that fell down with metal sticking up all over the place. She has 2 young children. She has some kind of play stuff back there that I've seen them out there maybe using it twice. She had trees torn down. She has never cleaned up the mess back there. So,
I think the important thing
Yes.
is that the fence was there for 30-plus years, and it was torn down a year or 2 ago, whatever it was. So it was there. We're just asking to put it back up. That's
Okay, could you state your name and address for the record, please?
Jeff Tuttle, 10834 Ludlow Avenue, Huntington Woods, Michigan, 48070.
Thank
And
you.
I'm her son-in-law.
Thank
and
you.
then I'm getting deer in the yard. And not only that, her gate off on Paul Revere there, she often leaves it open, which, leaves my yard open. Then her fence came down on the east side there, and it's open. So now my whole yard is open to Winchester.
So if you can imagine, just her yard, the fence top was a rectangle. The back portion of the rectangle we tore down because the fence was rotted out, and we just want to replace it. And now,
And I keep my house so nice. I really do. I have flowers. I keep it trimmed.
she would have to move the chain link fence, which is on the street side, inward in order to meet the ordinance. And then, again, the fence has been there for 30 years.
Yeah, I've been there, and I've lived there since 1984. But I've lived in Southfield since 1972 on the same block. I just moved to a bigger house.
Okay, sounds good. We'll let the city read the facts, and then we'll go from there, okay?
Okay.
For ZBA case
Oh, one other thing, could I say one other thing? If you put I can't put the fence from the end of the house back because I have a patio, a cement patio there, which has now, and there's blocks and a lot of bushes, and anyways, okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Okay. The appellant, Alice Lavis, is requesting the following waiver from the board: to erect a fence beyond the side of her house along a double frontage yard, 0 feet permitted, 26.3 feet proposed. The property is located on the south side of Constitution between Independence Drive and Winchester Street at 21205 Constitution, Sidwell parcel 2415327001, zoned R2 Single Family Residential. The properties to the north across Constitution Street, south and east and west across Paul Revere are zoned R2 Single Family Residential and are developed with single-family dwellings in the Mount Vernon Place Subdivision 2 and 3 and Evergreen Glen Subdivision 2 and 3. Field inspections of the surrounding properties reveal most lots have fencing that is a mixture of chain link and wood materials. A few corner lots exhibit fencing in the same location on the property line as the appellants, including the property to the south of the appellants and to the west across Paul Revere. The appellant's parcel contains a driveway and parking area to the north of the fence. The proposed fence in the existing location will provide enough visibility for vehicles exiting the garage along Paul Revere. The owner is proposing to replace the existing chain link fence along Paul Revere Street right-of-way with a 6-foot in height wood fence. I think it's
Vinyl.
vinyl. Okay, thank you. The fence ordinance requires the fence on double frontage lots to align with the side of the house and extend to the rear of the lot. The appellant is seeking a waiver of 26.3 feet beyond the side of the house to the rear yard, 0 feet permitted, 26.3 feet proposed.
Okay, thank you. Do you agree with those facts?
Yeah.
Okay, is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, but I pulled out when I came out tonight, and I was coming down Paul Revere towards Winchester, which is, anyways, there's a house on the corner of Winchester and Paul Revere. Her fence is right next to her driveway, and the bushes are higher than the fence. And it's a 6-foot fence at least.
Mm-hmm.
And her bushes are way up there. I mean, there's never been an accident on there.
Okay.
Only accident, one time somebody ran into a tree, which is no longer there, coming off of Winchester, but other than that, oh my
Okay,
goodness.
will the staff read the recommendation, please?
Yes, the staff recommendation is for favorable consideration of 26.3 feet beyond the side of the house to replace a fence with the following condition. The fence must be placed in the same location as the existing chain link fence. The fence must comply with all other requirements of the fence ordinance. This recommendation is based on the following. Other corner lots within the subdivision exhibit fences in the same location as the appellants. Requiring the fence in the location permitted by the ordinance would interfere with the appellant's patio and retaining wall, and visibility will be maintained by the fence location 15 feet back from the driveway.
Okay, thank you.
I think it's even more than that.
Okay.
And I want it for security reasons. I'm 79 years old, I live there by myself.
Okay, so we'll open it up to public comment. You guys can stay right there. Seeing no one else here with us, we'll close public comment, turn it over to the board. Ms. Lesney?
I agree with the findings of the city, and I think this is a reasonable request. I walked by your house many times. I have friends on that street, so I know exactly which house it is. I mean, I went to see it, but besides that, I knew before I went exactly which house it is.
Oh, thank
So
you.
it's fine.
All right, Mr. Weigum?
I don't have a problem with it. It will, if you have a wooden fence, I guess it will match the one that's there in the property in front of you, on the south side, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Right.
quite dilapidated and looks like it's about ready to fall
Right.
down.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, it doesn't look good at all. I wanted to ask Ed this. She has a problem with the backyard. Is she allowed to put a fence along the backyard so she doesn't have to
Absolutely.
look at that stuff?
It's in accordance with the fence ordinance, if I might, through the chair to Mr. Weigum, yes?
I hope you understood and heard that, because you were complaining about it.
Yeah, that's the plan, is to put it all the way around.
Okay.
Replace the current.
I don't have a problem with this at all. It's fine.
Thank you.
Mr. Rogers?
Yeah, just considering that Paul Revere Street is a very well-traveled street with the school back there and everything, I think that your privacy and security are definitely a major issue. I agree with it 100%.
Okay, sounds good. I do too. I think it's a very fine request, and that I certainly wouldn't want to look at that fence in your backyard either. So, Ms. Lesney, will you make a motion for us?
We're gonna be good.
Regarding case 19-12, where the appellant Alice Labus is requesting to erect a fence beyond the side of the house along a double frontage yard, 0 feet permitted, 26.3 proposed, to the, excuse me, to the property located on the south side of the Constitution between Independence Drive and Winchester at 21205 Constitution, Sidwell parcel 2415-327-001, zone R2 single family residence. I move that we approve this waiver with the following condition, that the fence must be placed in the same location as the existing chain link fence, and the fence must comply with all other fence requirements. That I base this on the fact that other corner lots within the subdivision exhibit fences in the same location as the appellant.
There's
There's something on the back if you
Oh,
want.
I'm sorry, I didn't notice that. Requiring the fence in the location permitted by the ordinance would interfere with the appellant's patio and retaining wall, and visibility will be maintained by the fence location 15 feet back from the driveway.
all right. Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good luck with your project. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're
I
very
just
welcome.
want to ask one question. Do you notify the fence company that I hired, because they have a big deposit, and do you notify them now that you approve it?
If I might, through the chair to the appellant, did you submitted the permit already? Did they submit the permit? The fence company submit the permit already?
Yes, they did.
Okay, so.
And it was denied.
Right, which is right. So then we'll go back and approve the permit and call the fence company when the permit's approved.
Okay, so I can rely on you for that.
Yes, you can rely on us for that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much.
Have a good
I
night.
really appreciate that.
Sure. All right. Will the city call the next case, please?
ZBA case 1913, the appellant Cliff Healy of Rangecom, developer and contract purchaser, representing the owner, Naresh Chand of Chand Professional Properties, Inc., is requesting the following from the board: a variance of 15 feet of landscape width along Evergreen Road, 30 feet required, 15 feet proposed. Property is undeveloped land located on the east side of Evergreen Road between Northwestern Highway and Noel's Drive, Sidwell parcel 2426, 151006 and 007, zoned OS Office Service. This appeal is to section 5.105, paragraph 4, article 9, chapter 45 of the Southfield City Code, more commonly known as the zoning ordinance. And the appellant actually has requested that the case be dismissed without prejudice due to the fact that there has been some changes in Michigan's no-fault laws that will affect their project moving forward. So they're not going to move forward with the project.
Okay. Can I have a motion to dismiss without prejudice?
I so move.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor? Okay, looks like we have a few set of minutes. Let's start with May 7th. Does anyone have any changes on May 7th, 2019 minutes?
No, I didn't.
I didn't
I
see
have a
anything.
couple.
Oh, you do, okay.
Yeah, the first one on the first page, Mr. Wygum is not highlighted, and he wasn't here, yet I looked in here and I certainly said something, so it's either my ghost or,
Okay, so
You see
line
that?
19 needs
19.
to be deleted.
no,
No,
I'm
right?
here.
No, but 20,
20 says
Oh,
you're
I
there.
see, yeah.
present, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, so
I
19 needs to be
just-
deleted.
It wasn't
Mhm.
highlighted, and I thought, oh, I wasn't here.
No.
Okay, on page 20. I didn't understand Mr. Gardella here. says on line 22, this gentleman needs to be on the meeting to get this done.
Yeah, he needs to be on the next meeting agenda.
Yeah, I would say it'd be on the next meeting to get this
That's what it's supposed to be on
done,
the next
yep.
meeting agenda, I would
Yep.
assume so.
Okay, so add the word agenda on line 23.
And next, too.
Oh,
Or maybe not.
Just next meeting would be enough, I
okay,
think.
next meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
That's it, that's all I have.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the minutes of Tuesday, May 7th, 2019 with those two changes?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, minutes from May 21st, 2019. I saw a couple things. On page 20, the very last page, line 3, I think Mr. Wygum meant LTU, not LIT. So that's one change. And then on page 16, sorry, I went backwards.
Where are we here?
Yep, 21. I went to the very last page.
The 21st, the last page.
Yep, right here. You meant LTU, not LIT.
The old name.
Lawrence Institute of Technology,
Oh.
they've changed the name.
I thought you said LTU. All right, and then on page 16, line 13, line 13, it says, Mr. Wygum says, "What's going on? Why has it slowed down any feel?" I'm assuming you meant any feelings.
Well,
Any feel?
any
You wanna-
feel for it, or.
Oh, okay. It can stay any feel.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. No change
Why-
there.
Why we weren't getting more cases.
Right. Okay, what else did you have?
I had one on page 28.
Okay. 28?
How did I
18?
say
It only
20?
goes to page 20.
Did you mean 2 and 8?
No, I don't know, I circled it. Let me look for it. I didn't write it down correctly, obviously.
Maybe it's
Eighteen?
There it is.
18, page 18.
Yeah, page 18, I put 28.
Okay,
And Mr. Wygman is speaking, it's on 13.
okay.
And it says, we have a nomination or something, who do we give it to? Mandelbaum, and then it's got or you, or you. I assume that,
I think you're going, or you, or you.
oh, really?
Yeah, because you asked Sarah, and then you asked.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
why is there too many or yous here?
Yeah, that's that was that conversation.
So many
Okay.
options.
So
right,
put
so
a
many options.
Parentheses, pointing fingers.
Okay, anybody have anything else?
Nope.
Okay,
That's it.
can I have a motion to approve the minutes for May 21st, 2019 with those changes?
I so move.
I'll second.
Second, all those in favor? Aye. Okay, next on the agenda is discussion of our next meeting. And looks like there's a request to cancel the July 16th meeting. So can I have a motion to cancel that meeting, please?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, so then we have a couple cases for August 6th.
At this point, that's all we have for August 6th,
Okay.
is 2 commercial cases.
Okay. And then a discussion of a legal matter? Is
Yes,
this
so
on the
if I
record?
might.
There's also another thing I want to bring up, but
Okay.
after the discussion.
Okay, so just real quick, under the miscellaneous section, I think everybody remembers the court case for Marvin Gardens Inn with the lighting. It's quite a while ago now, and the reason is they challenged the ruling of the zoning board and procedure of the zoning board, as they can within 21 days, to the circuit court. It was upheld, zoning board's decision was upheld in the circuit court, and then they next filed in the Court of Appeals. I actually went to the Court of Appeals, it's a 3-judge panel, it's actually pretty neat, the oral arguments, and our city attorney, one of our city attorneys, Bonnie Fitch, stayed up all night before doing her arguments and did just a really wonderful job. And got an opinion on our behalf. The next step, if they chose to do it, they would have to go to the Michigan Supreme Court, which it's up to them, they have their right to appeal again, but they upheld all the way through the ZBA's decision and the way the board's, well, specifically the facts that were presented with it and the way the board deliberated. They didn't find any problem with any of it. So that's pretty good to take it to that level on a decision that was made and to be upheld all the way through the decision process. So I think you guys should be proud of how you look at cases and how you deliberate, and the fact that it goes that far. And it was a unique case because it really rested on the non-conforming issue, on the grandfathering issue. And the only case that was heard before like this on a non-conforming use like that is from the 50s. That's the only case that they could come up with, because the argument from the attorneys were that that the board was denying them the use. But the other case was a landfill case where the county actually denied them the use of it as a landfill. This was just denying the use of additional lighting. So they were trying to compare those two cases together, saying that we were denying his use of the hotel to enable to, make a profit. But that's not what it was. But that's how far the casework went
Part
back.
of it is that you also did a lot of homework and research on that. It gave us something to hang our hats on.
Well, that's fine, but what they look at is
Procedure.
is the procedure that you all follow, that gets followed here, and that the appellant was given their rights properly, and that you followed the Zoning Enabling Act. And that's what the courts look at. They may argue the constitutional issues or whatever, but they did not argue the case again. They did not argue the facts of the case again. So it was a very, very good outcome. The other matter I wanted to bring up was we do have 3 applications for members.
Oh, great.
And I don't know if Ari
Which-
talked to you, Mr. Rogers?
We have
Did he?
3 seats,
No.
right? Huh?
Okay. All right. And the last item is I want to introduce Angelo to you, Angelo Batiste.
What was your
is,
name?
Angelo.
Angelo.
He is a new building inspector.
Oh, great.
Actually came up through being a housing inspector, started out as a housing inspector first, got his registration from the state as a building inspector, now is starting out as a building inspector specialist, which is the starting. He's undergoing a lot of training.
Okay.
And one of the things that we're going to train him on is doing fence cases.
Well, good, you got your,
So you may see him here presenting fence cases. I want to start getting the building inspection staff understanding how this process works and what they look at. So that's one reason you've seen Chuck, who will be back too.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
He'll be back here and there.
Okay.
And what I'm going to have is Chuck will be working on the residential cases. Angelo will be doing the fences. Of course, I'll still do the sign cases and be here, of course. But we want to spread it around a little
Great.
bit to let people get experience. So that's
Wonderful.
what staff
Welcome.
has.
Welcome.
yeah, welcome, Angelo.
So if we have 3 applications, we have a full-time position and 2,
I
Right? I mean,
believe that we're probably
3
going to end
open
up
slots.
interviewing people would be my guess. I have to get back with Mr. Councilman Mandelbaum about it. But yes, we have 3 applications that have come forward.
outstanding.
And what about Mr. Rogers?
That's what I just asked if Mr. Mandelbaum had contacted him yet.
Okay,
I'm unsure. He may be looking to also interview everybody, maybe re-interview Mr. Rogers. I don't know. I'll have to find out
all
from
he has to
him.
do is come here.
Okay, well, that's great news. I don't think we've had 3 applicants in waiting since
Yes.
I've been on the board, so, great.
Yes. So that's all I have for you.
Okay. The one thing, I received a phone call from the city asking me to attend a memorial service for Roy Bell, July 9th. I just about fell off my chair. I said, Roy has died? And she said, oh, I'm so sorry, you didn't know. And I said, no, I did not know. Certainly, I will be there. But I wanted to say something about Roy. He was a strong supporter of the city, and he participated in practically all the government offices. He was appointed as a council person. Then he was on the planning commission, and from the planning commission, they wanted someone from the planning commission on the zoning board of appeal. He came on our board. Always very thoughtful. He always went out and looked at the cases. He looked at the sites. I always listened very closely to what he said because he really had a good point of view. And many times I would say, that's right, I hadn't thought of that. So I feel bad that he's gone, and I just wanted to say that we appreciated his service.
Kind of stunned.
Yes, I agree. He was always a good guy to work with, always stopped in and asked questions if he needed questions answered, was always very kind and very nice to us at the city, always.
Okay, on that unhappy note, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All those in
Second.
favor? Aye.
Aye.